specialization of labor, and emergence of guilds.
Towns have become bigger in recent times. More businesses have to be specialized to cater to everyone's needs at once. Specialized businesses include furniture making, making of clothes, and winemaking. People who specialize in specific areas were called artisans. Merchants and artisans formed organizations called guilds, which regulate and protect the members that belong to the guild.
Guilds are very similar to trade unions as they both fight for workers' rights. All of the different industries had a dedicated guild for them. For example, there was a merchant guild, baker guild, and carpenter guild, to name a few. Guilds were very powerful and they were able to influence the economic and political decision making. The aim of a guild was to exclude outside traders from doing business in certain areas.
Guilds were eventually used to fix and maintain prices, wages, standard of workmanship, and working conditions. As the guild was doing so much for the workers, the members had to honor a set of rules. The guilds arranged festivals for their members, and also, if a worker was not skilled enough, the guild would train them in order for them to have sufficient training.
Mercantile laws and development of forms of businesses.
Mercantile laws are laws which were introduced in medieval times, put in place later, that businesses agreed to when trading with other businesses, a way to protect both parties during a deal. This later was placed into law due to the increase in international trade. These laws deal with things such as contracts and licensing. Some more things discussed by these laws include conveyancing, litigation, contracts, documents, and debt collection.
These laws were put in place because at the time factories were being introduced and the demand increased at huge rates, meaning businesses were forced to work together. This created things such as corporations and partnerships, where they would work together to keep up with the intense demand. If laws such as these were not put in place, unfair trade would be able to take place.
Therefore, the introduction of these rules was due to the ever-increasing market, which forced what today are common things like contacts and companies. This allows parties to split things within themselves, such as each party is doing a different task. For example, one providing capital while the other providing labor. This is meant by profit, to split equally between the parties, which required a set of rules, hence contracts were created. The same thing can be said for most other legal documents, such as the ones mentioned above.
The main types of legal business organizations were simple partnerships, limited partnerships, and corporations. Simple partnerships were all liable for the debts of a business, while limited partnerships meant that the active partner had full liability. The final one, being corporations, is where there is a limited liability for the owners.